Hello everyone, yes, I am back with a new video and this is all death, doom, funeral doom, gothic doom, doom. So I know I kind of mix it up with black metal and death metal and stuff like that, but as you know I call myself a death doom metalhead, but it isn't really the reason why I call the channel the death doom metalhead, just because I listen to just death doom. But funny enough, this whole update is purely doomy death metal from either this year, last year, or yeah, sometime recently anyway. So yeah, got a stack of vinyl, stack of CDs and a tape, so we'll crack straight into it. I've got my Hooded Menace hat on because I made this myself, stuck a patch on it. I didn't sew it on because I'm not that clever. I'm going to grab this zine over here and pimp this out first. So this is a zine called Metal Horde here in the UK in London. This is an underground death, I think there might be some black metal in there, basically underground metal, you know, proper extreme metal. This is issue 31 from October of 2024, and yeah, it's a Portuguese dude who my band Consecration met several times now in London when we always played a dev, or he might have seen us somewhere else, I can't really remember, but they're in London anyway, him and his missus, and they're always chatting to us, and he was talking to our vocalist Dan that he does an underground zine, can he interview the band? And we are in this issue. You can see your purveyors of doom and death there. There's a nice little write-up by Dan the Man. But it's really cool. It's got reviews, gigs, you know, your standard borders with skeletons on it, your black and white. I love all this kind of shit. It's really my kind of thing. So if you're a collector like me of like underground zines, stuff like that, this is another one to go buy. I don't know how much it costs, I couldn't tell you, but it does also give you a history of the Portuguese metal scene, which is really cool as well, because I know fuck all about that, so I always like to learn. So I will tell you a link below where to go get it, where to support the guy who does it. I'll even tell you his name because I'm that nice. It's Nuno Alexandra Olivier, something like that. Probably butchered your name, so I do apologise, mate, but really grateful to be putting this. Always supporting underground zines, bands, you know, this is why this whole channel even exists. So give that a razz. I will leave a link below. That's my bedtime reading for tonight. So, right, you want some doomy, horrible, doomy metal. So this band is easily in my top 5 bands I listen to every year. Probably one of my favourite bands, actually. Over the years, as I've got older, there's always certain bands you gravitate to. And I know a lot of people, like older guys, especially like Maiden, Motorhead, they kind of stick with them, and every year they kind of purge on the band a little bit. And this is one of those bands for me. When it's dark and cold, this band always creeps in. When I do the long drives for work and I feel like shit, this band is perfect. All the discography is perfect to me, and this new album from this year is fucking fan, and I really like this one. It's probably one of my favourites of their discography, and this is a new one. So if it keeps going and I keep listening to it as much as I have done, I'm on to a winner. So this is the latest from Norway's Funeral. This is called Gospel of Bones, put out via Seasons of Mist maybe a few weeks ago now, around the early October time, or late October, I can't even remember anymore. Now we're in November, aren't we? So this is a band that's been around since '91, formed by only original member now, who is Anders Eek. He's the drummer, but he also does all the music, writes all the lyrics, I think, all the stuff like that. He is a main composer of this band, is still in the band to this day. He's the only original member left. And every album is always different with Funeral. You always get something a little bit unique compared to the last one. And the last one I really enjoyed. I think it was 2021. That had Norwegian vocals. It was a bit more modern on the production. The guitars were a bit more adventurous in the solos, and the vocals were very much epic, but in a Norwegian. So you didn't really know what I couldn't tell what he was singing about, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Whereas this one is the complete opposite to that. It's got a new vocalist by the name of Eric Crockjord or something like that. I'm going to butcher all these names, so I really do apologise. But he is a operatic singer. So you're replacing the kind of epic doom vocals with a very epic kind of operatic voice done in different ways. So this album is basically like a really doomy opera. You've got some female vocals in there. You've also got some really miserable, clean spoken vocals, but I don't know who the vocalist is. It's definitely someone different, but it's different. So you've got 2 tracks on there with the vocalist on there, and that again gives it a whole different flavour. But this album is very heavy. Like, the production is super tight, super chunky. The drums have this massive fuck off bass sound to it. Like when he thumps it, it's got a little reverb on it. And it illustrates the epicness of the emptiness of it. Like the guitars aren't too adventurous on this album. They're very chuggy. There's some really nice solos. There's some really tasteful like classical guitar playing, stuff like that. The strings on there. You know, it's got everything. It's so epic. It's a double vinyl, a gatefold with a portrait of the band there, as you can see there. I think the bass player is probably the only second longest member. I think he joined like 2011, something like that. The vinyl versions, I think this one is just, oh it is, yeah, sorry, it's a clear vinyl I've got here. But I can't recommend this highly enough. It's so good. It's just perfect this time of year. If you're into your doom, your funeral doom like that, you know, these guys are considered one of the godfathers of the funeral doom scene. Hence, well, they're not obviously called funeral for that reason, but they're so miserable. But some of their songs, they've had Robert Lowe from Solitude Aeturnus do stuff with them before. They've covered Candlemas songs on albums. You know, they're a really good band. I mean, my favourite track on here is Procession of Misery, and that is just so epic. And it even has like a funeral-esque kind of vibe to it, and I really enjoy it. I mean, every single song in here I really love, but Too Young to Die, Procession of Misery, and My Own Grave as well. I mean, that was a song that got me into this album straight away when that single was released. So I'll leave a link below and you can tell me what you think. But for a proper doom album, don't be surprised when I do my like end of year list, which every YouTuber has to do to get any kind of credit. This will be in there 100%, I can guarantee. I won't probably ruin it yet because I don't know where it will be come the end of the year, but don't be surprised if you see it in like top 5 or something. So I absolutely adore this band. So yeah, Funeral, fucking love that. Now, I'm very lucky I have friends in high places, and I am very good friends with the band Jade, who are from Spain, and they've recently put out a split this year with another Spanish band called Sanctuarium, and this is that split called The Sepulchral Wound. Again, don't quote me on pronunciations, I'm shocking at it. So this was put out through Pulverized Records this year, and both bands are superb bands. I've been lucky enough to play with Jade, I think it was last year now, yeah, around Christmas time, and they're such a good band. Doomy death band as well, but more progressive in their style on the last album. Anyway, on this release with some new music, they've really stepped it up. It's a lot heavier, it's a lot more atmospheric, it's a lot more angrier. It's got a real dark feeling to it, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, these new songs they've put out are way better than their last album, and I love that last album. It's just got a more sinister vibe to it. It's just evil in a really good way, and it's interesting musically as well. Then Sanctuarium is done all by a chap called where is it? Mark, who I've met as well. He was the drummer in Jade, but he's also the man behind Cauldron, the black metal band, if you know them. He's also the main man behind Troll Cave, if you know them. Obviously he has other people in that band, but Sanctuarium is his beast. He does all the music in this. He's a drummer by trade, but he can play guitar, does death metal vocals, does the whole fucking lot, you know. And again, just solid doomy death metal, really cavernous, really heavy, eerie. And this is again for splits, you know, normally you get a hit and miss with splits. This one is a solid 10 out of 10 for me. It's just because everything I want in that kind of doomy death vein. It's heavy, it's brutal, atmospheric. You know, both bands complement each other really well because they're different, but they have a similar vibe to them. So if you're a fan of your doom and your death, you're going to like both bands straight away without even questioning it. So yeah, go give that a go if you haven't. I'm really enjoying that. That's been put on the cart a lot. Right, another American, I say another, this is the first one, but there's quite a few American bands in this video. So this is the first one. This is a Chicago-based band that formed in '92, and this is only their second full-length that's come out this year, and this is the band Avernus with Grievances, put out through a label I've never heard of before, that I can't find on it. I think it's M Theory Audio or something like that. I'll put links below so you can check it out. So instantly this cover was drawn to me. Now this was recommended to me by my good mate Wendy, who's always pimping out the bands now and again on Instagram. And this is one of them. She said, you need to go check this out, and I did, and the cover was an instant win for me. And then I listened to one track of it and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm having that. And yeah, here we are. So this is a band that haven't been around for a long time. So they formed in '92, and then I think they had a split at some point. I mean, their last release I think it was 97, I think they put out their debut. So this is the second album, 2024, so it's a long time later. And this is a double LP in a single jacket, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So this is, again, I think clear vinyl, or maybe grey marble, sorry, grey marble. So it looks like that. And again, this is very doomy death metal in the vein of your early kind of... It's hard to kind of categorise them. They have that kind of old school approach to death doom. So it's slow, atmospheric, it's miserable, but it's heavy, you know, it's really heavy. If you like bands like Decomposed, you could say it maybe early Paradise Lost, early My Dying Bride a little bit, but they have that American feel to them. So, you know, I can't think off the top of my head any early, because these are one of them anyway. They've been around since the early 90s. And I never heard of them annoyingly, and I have to go try and find their debut now, because I really enjoyed this. This is really heavy, it's a bit epic in some parts, but it's proper miserable, and it's got a really good guitar tone, vocals are really growly and horrible. But not in like a cavernous way, more like it makes you feel shit, but in a way you want it to feel like, you know. So yeah, another fantastic album. I really enjoyed this one as well. This one's been spun a lot. Like, I love the whole album. It's got such a variety into it, some really cool instrumentals. So yeah, go give that a go if you haven't. Again, I'll leave a link below so you can have a razz. Now this one, some Texas Epic Doom. Now if you think of Texas and Epic Doom, the first band that comes to my mind is always going to be Solitude Aeternus, and Texas is such a big state. For someone that lives in the UK, I have no idea how big that place has never been. Will do one day, I guess, but there's so many bands out there, and especially in the death metal scene, they all kind of have a similar flavour to them at the moment, and it seems with the Epic Doom bands anyway, there is also that vein. And this is a one-man project that reached out to me by the name of... Is it Mike? I can't remember what nickname you gave yourself on Metal Archive, but Mike Alcala. This is his project, and it's called Marble Orchard. This is the debut album from 2023, yeah, called Building Monuments to Misery. Now, this was put out for a label, but I can't for the life of me read it, because I'm blind as fuck, but there's only 30 of these that exist, so hopefully I'll leave a link below, you can grab yourself a copy. So tape looks like that. Now if you're a fan of Solitude Aeternus, you're already a fan of this. Now I'm a massive Solitude Aeternus fan, so when he sent it to me on Instagram to kind of check it out and see what I thought, I was instantly hooked. Like, it's so good, like considering it's a one-man project as well, and he does all the instruments as well, so the drums, bass, you know, guitars, the whole lot. It's really, really cool, and I can really picture Robert Lowe singing on this. I don't know why, but it has that vibe to it where it's epic, but it's the guitar riffs that really hook me in, and the drum sound as well. The drums sound really fucking organic and heavy, and it's not, even if they are programmed drums, I don't think they are, but if they were, they sound fantastic. I definitely don't think they're not though. It's got a real organic feel to it. It's just heavy. I mean, side B, the first track off there, that's fucking brilliant. I love that song. I can't read it though because it's on blue and I'm blind, but it is brilliant. I can't recommend this enough. Again, I'll leave a link below, but this was a really nice surprise. So cheers, Mike, for sending me that, because that was fucking superb. I'm using my notes because I've got so much information here. I'm forgetting fucking things left, right and centre. So yeah, Marble Orchard, love it, absolutely love it. Go give it a go. It's a really, really cool album, and there's a new one that's coming out this year as well. So again, links below and you can check it out. Right, some more American doomy doom. Another brilliant album as well. I've been fucking spinning this loads and streaming it loads since I've got my ears on it. So this is the latest from Mother of Graves with the Pepheret of Absence, something like that. Put out through Profound Law this year. A few weeks ago this came out. Very, very new album. I fucking love that artwork. That is an original piece done for this album specifically by the artist, and it is brilliant. Again, as soon as I saw, I mean, I've got both the releases from this band on CD annoyingly, but I had to get the vinyl for this when they put it out on a big label that I can get over here really quickly, because it's such a good band. Like, when I first heard these guys, it was a while ago now when that EP came out, it instantly brought memories of early Catatonia, and I think they even quote that as one of their influences, and you can hear it in abundance. Dance of December Souls, Brave Murder Days, that kind of vibe is all over this album, especially on this one. They've kind of stepped it up a gear, which is what you like to hear. Really musically interesting. It's got lots of things going on. The vocals are just solid, proper growly, horrible, eerie, emotive vocals, which you want in this kind of genre of music. You've got some brilliant delays and reverbs that kind of carry the harmonies and stuff like that. There's like a section, sounds like it's a tapping riff using delay, and it goes over the top of this like section, and it's just instantly reminded me of Catatonia, and it's just fucking brilliant. It's melodic, it's miserable again, and I fucking, again, absolutely fantastic album. The band, you know, are fairly new. They've not been going too long. They've been around since 2019, and they're already on their second full-length album. In the jacket, it's got a picture of the band there with vocals and thank yous. And I believe this is only on black wax, but you can get other variants. I'm 90% sure of that. Black wax. So yeah, if you haven't got this, go get it and put it in your collection, because it's a fantastic band. And Profound Law always put out albums for me anyway that I know I'm going to like. It's going to be good. And this is a fantastic album. I can't recommend this highly enough. This is another brilliant one. Again, don't be surprised when I do my end of the year list. This will be very high up it as well, because it's kind of a torn between Funeral and this one at the moment in my listening list. I've got so many albums to go through. Like I like to kind of mix it up, but these last 2 months since it's come out, that and Funeral, they've just been blasted loads. So yeah, Mother of Graves, fucking awesome band. Love it. Now, this is a Spanish doomy band. This is more gothic doom though, with a kind of operatic nod to it. I gigged with these guys back in, I want to say the end of July, probably a bit later than that actually. I can't remember when I went there, maybe August time. And this is the band Scandelion with TPIDB. I forget what it stands for, but it's written down somewhere. Yeah, can't remember where. It's got an album name anyway. So these guys are from the Canary Islands in Spain, and they've been going a little while. So I think it's George is his name? Yeah, George Afonso, who formed the band back in 2002. He's kind of got these group of musicians together that he kind of borrows from. And he's lived in the UK for a little while as well, and I think he's back over there now in Spain. But this came out in 2020. I think this is either a repress of a different version, because I know there's different artwork. I've seen different artwork, but this is great. So these guys have a female fronted singer by the name of Sonia Hernandez, and she's like a classically trained vocalist, like full on operatic. An amazing talent, you know, stuff that I could never do in a million years. You know, I mentioned Funeral at the start with his operatic vocal style. This is probably more classically female fronted. It's not got growls, apart from when George does it in the background. He's got like the backing vocals for the death metal growls, so you got that kind of Beauty and the Beast kind of vibe going on. But this is a gorgeous album. Musically, it's got a lot of variation to it. It's heavy. You have your death metal moments in some parts, but it's more operatic, gothic. Fit as a Tragedy, those kind of bands, you know, that kind of vibe really. So if you're into that kind of side of the doom spectrum, these guys are well worth getting on your radar. They've got quite a few albums out, and live they were fantastic, proper heavy, really musically interesting. Vocals were spot on. Even a dingy little place like Plymouth, you know, they were fucking great. So yeah, go give these guys a go. Really enjoyed them, and I had to buy a CD straight away. So yeah, I even have a t-shirt actually as well. Scandelion, great band. Chuck that over there. Right, some American epic doom now again. So this is another one that I know a few people have mentioned that I've watched videos the last couple of months, and this is a band I've been aware of since their debut. So this band is from Pennsylvania, formed in 2013. This is their third full length for this year. This is Crick Sermon with the Stygian Rose, put out through Dark Descent Records. Now this is their third album now, and they've just got better and better and better for me. Annoyingly, I never bought the second album when it came out, and it was, you know, as a collector you kind of think, yeah, I'll get around to buying it, Can I buy it anymore? No, not without paying a pretty penny for it now. So when I saw this was announced and it was released, got it straight away. Not fucking about this time, so I'd be really annoyed if I didn't get it. So these guys are epic doom, but in that American, almost like power metal-esque vibe to them. Very epic though. This one especially has got more of a, it's got better song writing. Like the songs are structured a bit more epically, and they kind of flow into like storyline almost. Like for me, the best songs on here easily are Heavy as the Crown of Bone, the Stygian, the Scrying Orb, I really like that one as well. And Down in the Hollow, I really like that one. But to be fair, I like all of them, but they're my kind of go-to songs if I'm streaming this band. And yeah, it's just really fucking epic. You know, guitar solos are insanely technical. Vocals are really, really strong on this album. Definitely stronger than the last release. I believe this is the vocalist here. He's set different, completely different from the first album. If you listen to that one to this one, it's like night and day in the differences. I'm fairly sure it's the same person though, but I can't quote that, but I'm fairly sure it is. And this guy here fucking shredding like fuck on this album. It's insane what he can do. So yeah, I believe this is on red vinyl. It's got a load of stuff inside it as well. I think there's a poster as well. There's a poster in there. Book with some artwork. Should we show you that? Let's show you that. So it's like a little glossy book with the lyrics and little bits of art and stuff like that. Yeah, and who's who in the band, that kind of thing. So that's a nice little touch. I like that. Poster's good as well. I've got to try and find a space to put it up somewhere. That's the challenge in this room anyway. And the vinyl is nothing too exciting. It just kind of fits with the cover. A red, like a wine red almost. So yeah, fucking another brilliant album. I know all the songs off by heart as well, so normally that's a sign to me that this is a great album, because if I already know the songs off by heart and I can sing them and hum them in my head, that's a good sign to me. So loving the Crypt Sermon, another fucking brilliant band. Where is it? This one here now. This was a split that I randomly got in a order from months and months ago, and I only just got around recently kind of just picking it up and putting it on the player, because I know both bands well. They are on my radar, but again, this is not a release I didn't even know existed, to be fair. So this is a split between Carcinoma and Abyssal. So Carcinoma are from Plymouth, funny enough, and Abyssal, I used to believe they were in Liverpool way, or they're in Scotland now. I can't confirm, but they're up that part of the world here in the UK. So both bands are kind of a nod to doomy death metal. One's more blackened, one's more death metal. And this split here really complements the two bands beautifully. This came out in 2018 from Goat Prayer Records, which is linked to... oh, what the fuck is it called? It's a black metal label here in the UK that pump out loads of different releases, and they kind of merge loads of little sub-labels together. Death Prayer Records, that's the one. Yeah, so that's what this is from. Essentially an order from them, and this was chucked in. So whoever works there knows me fucking very well now, because this is spot on for me. I absolutely love this. So this is beautiful. I mean, I've got Carcinoma's full-length album up there on cassette, but I had nothing from Abyssal, and I only knew of them, and I knew they were good. So I didn't realise that they were a one-man project. And the chap there, Greg Carroll, he now plays in Ageless Summoning, if you know that band up in Scotland. So worth checking out, and Carcinoma is still going as well. So has the music run out already? Let me push play on the music. This is a new album that I haven't actually listened to yet. So yeah, anyway, yeah, go check that split out on Dawdling. 2 more vinyls and I'll leave you alone. I'm a little bit out of practice, as you probably gathered. I haven't done this for at least a month, so keeping up with my trend of doing a video a month, because they seem to do better than if I do them weekly. So anyway, Greek band on Thorns I Lay. Now I have the last 2 releases by this band. They were a band that formed kind of early on in '95. This is their 10th full length from 2023. They went a bit shit for me, kind of Paradise Lost host kind of style as well, and I kind of lost interest in them because I kind of discovered them quite late on in maybe my late teens when I first heard them. But I heard the early stuff that a friend had, and then I heard more modern stuff at that point. It didn't gel with me at all. But when they put out, I can't remember how many years ago that last album came out, the kind of the 2 from this one, it was just proper doomy death metal with kind of Greek vibe to it. And then Phrenos came out after that, and that was a gorgeous album. It had like some Greek kind of inspired culture in it, but it was heavy. And then this one here, which is called On Thorns I Lay, is self-titled, isn't it? it is just as good. You know, it's heavy, epic. It's got that Greek vibe to it again. They've got some really good death growls on it. It's got loads of great guitar melodies and leads, and I just think this band are fantastic. Now they've kind of gone back to that kind of death doom style. You know, I'm all in. You know, all in, and it's just a great band. I enjoy all their modern albums. I'm going to say that, like I said, the last three and their early stuff I absolutely adore. It's such a cool band. Gatefold, and I think this is gold vinyl. Yeah, gold vinyl. Boom, like that. So yeah, another fantastic band. I've mentioned these guys loads on my channel over the years of doing this, because they're just one of those bands, if you're a fan of the death and the doom, you need some on Thorns I Lay. So go give that a go. That was a great album. And last but not least, this one has been mentioned by loads of people because it's a fucking heavy album by someone who just chugs out riffs for fun, and they're just brilliant. So this is the latest from, I can't even pronounce it, I'm going to put it down now, I'm not going to butcher it, it's not fair. So this album came out on 20 bucks spin. This is called Beating the Drums of Ancestral Force by the man himself, Big O, Brian Ortiz. Now, I discovered this band when he did his first EP, and it was on Transylvanian Tapes, and it's fucking heavy. And I always remember listening to that thinking, do I dare pay the postage to get that tape all the way from the States over here? And I did, because I liked it that much. And then he put out another album after this one, the debut, and that was brilliant. And then there's this one now for 2024, which is now on 20 bucks spin. It's fucking heavy. Like, he's got a bigger band around him. He's become like almost like a gang. How many people are in it? He's got Brian doing all the big riffs. I think he does most of the vocals as well. But he's got a live band now. He's got, I think, fucking Brazilian guitarists doing guest solos and riffs on it. People shouting on it. You know, it's got that tribal Aztecian theme to it as well. It's just good. You know, they're based out of California, formed in 2019. And it's just fucking heavy. Like, it's just crushingly bleak, is what I could say. Vinyl looks like that, which is totally unique to the cover. I was hoping for a red one, or like a Mexican flag one maybe, I don't know. But there they are there, all the lads dressed up in the old paint with the machetes and stuff like that, having a great time. I mean, the fucking amount of people in there is insane, but it's just fucking bleak. Like, you listen to this and it's just chugging away, and it's just brutally heavy, and I love all that kind of thing, you know. And Brian is like a modern day Kurt Winstein from Crowbar to me. He's just got that, he's just heavier in the riffs, you know. Like, Crowbar is heavy, and I love Crowbar, but when I listen to Brian play guitar, like even with other projects he's in, you know, he's got that certain style that I all instantly recognise. It's just heavy, heavy music. So yeah, this is fucking brilliant. I love this as well. You know, everyone's talked about this because it's brilliant, but I haven't talked about it yet, and I want to support Brian's music because he's a fucking top guy. So boom, go support it. And that is the end of my video. So hopefully you've got something out of this, and it's not so fucking here, there and everywhere. A bit out of practice, so I do apologise. I'm even wearing a baseball cap indoors. That's how fucking cool I am today. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, I will leave content over here for you guys to check out and see what you think, and then you can maybe give me a sub if you think that's alright. But until then, I hope you enjoy the music. Go support the bands below, go support everything I mentioned. Peace.